Hey guys, first of all, thank you for clicking. You're about to watch a new video or another video on YouTube. And before you do, 212-931-5731. What I'm doing in my text community is bonkers, it's instant, it's access, it's exclusive, and now enjoy this YouTube video. GaryVee. My number one advice to millennials in the way that you asked it is you got your perspective.
Be help. I don't wanna leave when it falls apart. I don't wanna see you when you're broken. Looking at the moon like I'm chasing stars. All I can do is keep in motion.
Log, I'm in San Francisco. In a couple hours I'll be in Portland for a big meeting. And fun kind of talk here with Microsoft about fireside chat, so may lead me to some new places. So I'm sure D-Rock and I are both optimistic that I might talk about something new, because when you have 12, 15, 23 foundational beliefs, the only way you get new stuff is Q&A, or when new platforms emerge like TikTok, or when new cultural things happen like Slime, or LinkedIn becomes organic reach. So I'm a byproduct of a changing behavior graph with 23 things I believe in. I'm not gonna use 23, 22, because fuck Michael Jordan. There's nothing more important than not allowing your parents to have any leverage. I mean it. Parents give money because they want control. So my number one advice to millennials in the way that you asked it is to not rely on parents. And then number two, to quantify time. We actually have our whole lives backwards. You should be doing the most high risk, high reward work from 20 to 30. The problem is that's when everybody expects you to grow up. I think, and grow up has transferred in our modern society to safe. I mean, I think that everybody under 30 should be tasting everything to get a better sense of what they're interested in. So I'd like you to call your parents and tell them, if they are, or they may not be, I don't want any more money from you. And then I want you, and then I want you to go on a plane and go to Scotland for no reason. Listen, I get tens of thousands of DMs from kids that are in their 20s and 30s that have deep underlying resentment and depression because their parents are quietly paying for their lives. Which I then tell them, like, don't take the money, jerk. But there's almost nothing worse than a parent subsidizing secretly their child's grown-up life. It will eventually be exposed and talked about, and I can't wait, because a lot of the underlying depression that is confusing people is actually coming from those sources. And it's even scarier when you dig underneath it, because what you start realizing is parents want to posture in front of their friends that little Sally and Johnny are doing well, and that's why they're riding a BMW or have a business, when quietly they're the ones paying for it. If you don't stand on your own 2 feet and you're a grown-up, you will be sad. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
So, as a father of 3 girls,
Yes.
where am I
real
gonna
pleasure.
fuck up?
Yeah, you too.
By creating fake environments. It's like accountability is the framework of happiness. And that is just not the current belief of parenting. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt your video. I'm just giving you this call from my number to let you know that you have to join my text community. 212-931-5731. Hit me up with a text.
Give them social media or no?
100%.
Really?
100%.
Are you kidding me?
Of
We
course.
can't stop them.
Because that's right. That's an inevitable. If they're unable to give them the tools emotionally to deal with judgment, not keep them away from TikTok.
Okay.
Got it? Quantifying, giving them the ability to quantify feedback. And the way kids get confidence is actually by doing things on their own merit, not by the subsidization of their parents of them doing
Saying
those
good
things.
job. Yeah,
100%.
All right, man.
Like, it's a very big deal, brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
like
it's huge.
Of course.
3 girls, age of 12 and under.
Yeah, and they have extra dynamics of judgment
Right.
from a physical standpoint, things
Right.
of that nature.
Right.
But it's going to come down to when you pay and create fake, feedback, it just leads to entitlement, which creates vulnerability and fear. Yeah, you're lucky that it's so early. It's so early still.
All right, father to father. I've got 2 kids, a 15-year-old daughter, 13-year-old son. My son might not make it to 14, but that's a different story. So my daughter, a lot of what you preach is about like not giving a fuck about what other people think, right? My daughter's really fucking good at that.
That's awesome.
No, because
She becomes condescending,
no.
delusional.
Wow, that's a great. It's not that she doesn't care, but there's no empathy or kindness behind it.
So she doesn't have compassion.
Yes.
Okay. To everybody.
Anybody.
Yeah. Has she started feeling the ramifications socially to that?
She doesn't care. That's the problem.
For now.
No doubt.
And so I think it's a very fine line. Look, radical candor around love, and she's not getting you, she's 15.
Yeah.
But being consistent on delivering it, not out of frustration, but just a constant tone is what you want to do.
Because I'm at frustration. Because I can see the mistakes she's making. Right? I see the friends leaving her.
Die on your own sword. Meaning communicate it with empathy. Honey over vinegar is always the delivery mechanism of information that matters.
My wife and I are trying to figure out the balance of honey and vinegar, right?
And sometimes parents divide and conquer. My recommendation, and I'm starting to do it already, I'm starting to get into it with my kids, 10 and 7 as well. I believe that it's very challenging because we love them. Don't go with the, here's the story, honey, you notice how Kelly doesn't hang out with you anymore? It's because you weren't compassionate to her. And one day, it's the whole, one day you're gonna really, this is gonna be a problem. Instead of going with that.
That's me right now.
Right, that's why I'm going,
Yeah.
I know that's where you
Yeah.
are, that's where everyone goes. I think you go with the honey, you do you. You know you. I'm observing, and I'm actually wildly neutral on this, even though I'm your dad, because I love you. This is what's happening. I know that you know. You're not gonna admit it to me now because you're my daughter. I know you know. If there's any way I can help in tweaking it, or if you ever want my outside observation, which you don't want now, let me know. That's a great way of saying it, but now you're delivering it in a way where you're talking even, not down, and nobody likes being talked down to, especially kids.
And that's a really good open opportunity for her to come in.
And you leave it.
Yeah.
And when I deliver that, which I will, and I've done it for executives, best friends, and eventually I'll do it with my kids, I don't need them to lean in then. You can see what I did there. I've created the framework for them to lean in the third time it happens, and now they're frustrated, and they're like, fuck, I better go to dad because he set up that opening.
Yeah.
Because right now you're scolding down, you see?
And we try hard to
I believe you, I can tell.
But it's a
you know
fine
what's
line.
funny? Even if it's not scolding, it's still going this way.
Absolutely.
And I think the way to win 15-year-old, what's her name?
Ava.
15-year-old Ava wants it. If you go this way, there's a switch that happens that gives you a shot. Ava, promise me one thing. Don't listen to dad. You know what you're doing, but kindness always wins in the end.
In Dallas.
Awesome.
And so one thing I've heard you touch on a lot and went kind of into depth into with Jay Shetty
Yes.
was having no expectations, and that'll help you be more grateful and
Yes.
more appreciative of
Yes.
others. And I think in my personal life, I've seen that.
Yes.
How do we translate that into the workplace where we are so interdependent on other people to accomplish our goals?
That's a really good point. So, where that has bit me in the ass is not holding people accountable on merit, which has been an evolution, because I truly, back to what I said earlier about employees should, if they own the same amount, I probably took it too far, and when I correct it, I'm always better. I think Where it gets tricky is when you're dependent on a partner and then you're being affected by it by a boss who she or he may not have all the context, one becomes frustrated. I think it just becomes, this is one big game of communication and then being at the mercy of the company. Like everybody here is at the mercy of the company and you need to understand that. Like, you know, and that's okay. But the way you do it is you either have the courage to have a fruitful but candorous conversation with the person that's letting you down, with the people above you. What most people do, it's amazing to me. I watch people who I've been in my company for 7 years, I have a real relationship with, but they would rather, you know, vent on Slack or in the boys' bathroom than come and talk to me for 5 minutes to address it. People really enjoy complaining. Because a lot of people actually are fascinated, you know, people really enjoy the crutch of having something to blame. That's the best part of being an employee. Like, what sucks about entrepreneurship is it's your fault. Every single problem at VaynerMedia is 100% my fault. I've empowered the people, or I myself am doing it. The best part of all of you sitting here is you can blame someone. It's fucking fun. You know, like, it's why we love having parents. You blame them for your fucked up shit. You know, so I think it's about communication, and then you're at the, you know, one of the reasons I think Vayner's had success at its end, I'm genuinely not short-term financially motivated, and I genuinely view myself as the logo. And I don't care if somebody's been with me for 10 years or one day. As a matter of fact, I will argue that every time there's a beef between somebody senior and somebody underneath, I default subconsciously to believing the person underneath. Because I believe the person above has more to lose. It's not always true. Obviously, I've gone millions of times in both ways, but a lot of companies just are a top-down organization. Thank you so much. Thank you.